Good morning with the Vikings. It is December 11th and it's a day one schedule.
Every year, students work really hard to bring us a good yearbook so that we can remember the school year.
We want to start off our broadcast with a special message from our yearbook's editor-in-chief, Mike Gill.
Hi everyone, I wanted to check in with some important yearbook updates. First off, senior packet is up and available on the school website. Seniors, please try to get this packet finished as soon as possible to make sure that everyone is included in this yearbook. It is here where you'll fill out your senior quote and other parts of your profile for the yearbook. In addition, this year, we also have spots where you can put in pictures of you playing a sport, you participating in a club, and this is super important because it's tough to get pictures this year, so we really need you guys to kind of send in some pictures if you have them, and you think they'll be good in the yearbook. Next up, we have senior photos. There's so many people who haven't taken their senior portraits yet. Over the summer, slips were mailed to senior families with codes on them that allow you to book an appointment on prestigeportraits.com. If you do not have this code, you can still book an appointment by going to contact.lifetouch.com and selecting Prestige Senior/Graduation Portraits. Once these senior portraits are taken, after about 2 weeks, the proofs will be available on prestigeportraits.com. The next step for seniors is to select the specific picture that you want in the yearbook. Once you're logged into Prestige Portraits, you can click View Proofs. Within that box, select Yearbook Pose box will appear and will allow you to select which pose you want to show up in the yearbook. We know this is a lot of information. It can be really confusing, so please reach out to me, Mr. Donnelly, or the Winthrop Yearbook Instagram account @Winthrop Yearbook with any questions or concerns.
Thanks, Mike. Make sure that you pass in your packets as soon as possible so you can get a yearbook to remember this wild ride of the 2020 into 2021 school year. The prices for the yearbooks will go up at the end of January.
Winthrop High now has 2 new clubs you can add to your extracurriculars. We have the Film Club with Mr. Donnelly and the STEAM Club with Mr. Tarantino.
The Winthrop High School Film Club is new this year to the Winthrop community, started by John Langoni and Joey Hogerson with Mr. Donnelly as the advisor. The film club hopes to explore various films, watch some classical cinema, and try to reach a deeper understanding of directorial choices and enjoy some world-class acting.
Alrighty guys, yeah, so Film Club is a brand new club this year. I was approached by some students who wanted to start it and loved the idea. And basically we're just going to watch a bunch of different films and have an open discussion about these different films. So we're going to watch some films from some famous directors, writers, awesome cinematographers, and then just kind of discuss different points of what choices they made and why.
So Film Club is basically a club where it's basically a very chill club. We just basically meet and right now with COVID, probably gonna have to watch the movies on our own, but then we'll meet in a meeting and, talk about the movie. And, not just if it was good or bad, but, really talk about the movie, get into the analysis of it all. And, it'll be a fun club, just who doesn't want to watch movies? You can get involved in the community, get in the club. And I think it's a win all around. So you should join.
I think people should take part in this club so they could find different varieties of films to watch, and it's very fun.
So if you're interested in joining the film club, here's the Google Classroom code. Okay, you can also always email me at bdonnelly@winthrop.k12.ma.us. We'd love to have as many members as possible. So it's going to be Thursdays starting in the new year. So join the Google Classroom code, and so we can take a deeper look into some awesome cinema.
The STEM Club meets every Thursday from 2:30 to 3 to discuss current events in science and other interesting ideas relating to the field of STEAM. Additionally, they compete in national and state Olympiad competitions that involve students entering events related to one or more areas of science and engineering. The Olympiad is a lot of fun and allows students the opportunity to learn and experiment with the concepts and ideas that they have been learning about in their classes. This year, we're doing a fundraiser to help support the STEM Club and to prepare for the Science Olympiad. The fundraiser is through a company called Double Good that creates different flavors of popcorn. Popcorn makes great gifts and is very highly rated by several national publications.
The STEM Club is a collection of students at Winthrop High School who are all interested in science, tech, engineering, and mathematics. In the club, we like to talk about different things related to science, from current events to different lab activities. We also compete in an annual event called the Science Olympiad, which is a competition where students from all over the country come and compete in different events like building a bridge or a rocket to identifying different constellations and galaxies in the sky.
Hey guys, my name is Ayat, and I'm one of the club leaders of STEM Club. Basically, STEM Club is a place where you can do experiments, one of them being like elephant toothpaste, and basically just explore the topics you're taught in your science classes and apply them in using the scientific method. This year, we are going to be competing in Science Olympiad, which is a team-based competition where you can participate in science events like disease detectives and forensics.
Science Olympiad is the best part of STEM Club. It's a competition with schools across the world where you get to explore your interests in STEM while competing.
Students can join the STEM Club at Winthrop High School by joining my Google Classroom page. If they want to send me an email, I can send them the information to join the STEM Club, or they can reach out to one of the members and they can ask them. If you are interested in the field of science and tech, there's a lot of people who are like-minded, and it's a lot of fun to be around people and talk to them about what you're interested in. I myself find that I can talk endlessly about this stuff, and I always am talking with the people in the STEM Club about what they like about science and the ideas that they want to pursue in it.
We are doing a fundraiser with Double Good this year where we're selling gourmet popcorn all next week, Monday through Friday. So contact anybody in STEM if you want to purchase.
Okay, so this is just an example of how the pop-up store would look like. As you can see here, you would be able to see like how many funds we are raising, and you can choose which type of popcorn flavor you would like to buy. Maybe during Christmas you want to buy somebody something, and maybe you want to buy them popcorn. And as you can see, they all kind of range in price, so that's good to keep in mind.
I'm here right now talking to the Winthrop High School STEM Club. We have some pretty exciting things coming up. We've talked today about how to get involved in the town, and we've also talked about the upcoming Science Olympiad. I know I'm excited to get started, and I know they are as well. I really hope that you guys come out and you find out why the STEM Club is really exciting. We have a lot of great stuff planned, and I think that you'll find it a lot of fun just like they do.
Happy to see that Winthrop is now taking part in a film club and is using science to drive us to a better future. Those are both super important. You guys should check those out.
Thank you, Lily. The STEM Club will be selling different flavored popcorn to raise money for the Science Olympiad this year. These bags make great gifts and have some pretty interesting flavors. If you have any questions, feel free to contact Ayat Waleed, Natalia Kirilova, Emma Foley, or Mr. Tarantino.
What a couple of great experiences to get involved. Now moving on to our sports. Sports are a major part of our school's life, and many people are happy to be able to take part despite some of the current difficulties of COVID.
With many setbacks and uncertainties surrounding school and sports, WHS athletes have finally received some good news. The Winthrop High School hockey season will be officially starting December 13th.
With Winthrop being a very big hockey town, the hockey season starting is certainly good news for the people of Winthrop. Having the hockey season, despite everything that has been going on, sheds some light on the upcoming year for WHS sports. The boys hockey team is looking to come back strong from last year's first-round playoff elimination, with the new senior class leading the team. We've caught up with some of the WHS boys hockey players to see what the year has to bring.
Pretty excited to get back on the ice one last time with all the boys. Unfortunately, COVID's going to greatly impact the senior year, my last year of high school hockey, but it is what it is, and we're just going to make the most out of it and try to have some fun while we're doing it.
I think the COVID-19 regulations will have an effect on the game, as puck battles will be shorter in the corners, and people will be out of breath and will have to take shorter shifts with the mask on.
Last year, we had a rough season, barely made the playoffs. We got in, kind of got whipped around a little bit, but that's the past. We're coming back this year with some strong senior leaders. Joey Hogerson, Warren A. last year. He's coming back strong this year. He's been playing hockey at the varsity level for 4 years. We got good underclassmen coming up, Jack Hayes, Petey Silverman. Hopefully they can impact the team. Good returning D, Joe Hayes, physical player, works hard. J.D. Parker coming back, Ari Hain. I'm looking forward to it.
The girls' hockey season is just around the corner as well. Last year, the girls had a great run, going 8-8-3 before coming up short in the first round of playoffs. We caught up with a few players to get their thoughts on the upcoming season.
I'm really excited about this upcoming hockey season because I'm just really glad and grateful that we're given the opportunity to play any high school sports at all, which is awesome. Last year, our hockey team was pretty good. We were successful. We had our ups and downs, but we fought and we battled every single game. We never gave up. and we're a young team. We have a lot of chemistry. So this year, I'm not only looking forward to being back with my teammates again, but I'm looking forward to taking what we learned from last year, taking that chemistry and really moving forward with it this year.
I'm really excited for this upcoming hockey season and to finally get back into sports again. Last year our team did pretty well and we made it to the NEC championship and lost by 1 point against Belmont. But I'm hoping that this year we can actually win the NEC because we aren't going to be having state playoffs due to COVID. So if we win the NEC, it's going to be really big. And also because of COVID, we aren't going to be able to be in locker rooms with our teammates, which is a big setback in team bonding.
Our main goal is probably just to win the NEC. Due to not having any state tournaments, that's the furthest we can get. So I hope that we can get to that point and win it all. But yeah, COVID-19 is really a day-by-day pandemic. You never know what you can get. You never know if we're going to ever have to stop playing these winter sports. So I would just say to every winter athlete, just take it day by day, have a positive mindset, and be grateful with what you're given because you never know what can happen. And everyone have a good season.
That's all for this sports update. Remember to stay tuned for more upcoming updates on more sports starting, and good luck to everyone going out onto the ice this winter. Now back to you guys in the stoop.
As many of you know, the school has begun preparing for the hybrid learning schedule. Here at Wake Up Winthrop, we have John Cataldo giving us an update on what the school committee has voted and how students are feeling about the transition. Here's what we found.
This year, national, state, and local officials have been forced to make some very difficult decisions about safely returning to school. This is not a one-size-fits-all town problem, and there are many factors to take into consideration when deciding what is the best option for the town. As many of you know, the school committee voted on November 23rd in a 5-2 decision to take Superintendent Lisa Howard's and the Winthrop Board of Health's recommendation of pushing the start of hybrid learning to a date not before January 4th, 2021. This is still dependent on the metrics as we move forwards. Superintendent Lisa Howard also presented that around 30% of each grade opted to stay remote, while students have the option to go hybrid. Many town members and parents are divided on the issues about what is the best for Winthrop students. And this was very clear during the public comment section of the school committee meeting. What is clear is that everybody across the town is passionate about helping our students and just wants the best for the youth of Winthrop during this global pandemic. We caught up with some WHS students to find out more about how they feel about the return to the hybrid model.
How do I feel about hybrid versus remote learning? I feel like hybrid is just 10 times easier to learn and comprehend than it is with remote learning. With remote learning, it's so easy to get distracted when you're not in school that it's just not possible to learn.
Although I would like to be back in school hybrid, I do know that we need to take precautionary measures because of the pandemic. Online learning has had its ups and downs, but I am hopeful that we can go back in January.
How do I feel about hybrid versus remote learning? I feel that hybrid is the superior of the two. Because, one, we get to be in school instead of on our computers for 6 hours a day, which is insanely hard. And hybrid, it gives us more opportunities to meet our teachers, see our friends again, and just be more out there.
When do I feel it's appropriate to go back to school? I feel like right now is a pretty good time to go back to school. With all these big schools like Natick and the Voc going back, it seems like they're really doing well, and I don't see why we can't go back because we're a smaller school.
I feel like it's appropriate to go back when the Board of Health feels that it's safe enough for us to. I definitely feel that I learn better in a classroom setting than in my room.
I learn better in person because it's so much easier for me to really learn the subject. And I get to see my friends and I get to communicate with my teachers easier. It's really just 10 times easier to do it.
Some things that I miss about in-person learning and I'm excited about when we do go back is definitely the teachers and engaging with them more than just over Zoom, and I'm also excited about being able to see my friends and teammates in the hallways. Some things that make me anxious about going back to school is the worry of having to shut down and go full remote again, and just in hopes that everyone can stay safe and healthy.
I personally learn better in person because it's easier for me, and I'm sure it's a lot easier for other students to see the board, actually raise their hand and not click a button and an emoji pops up. and like having to unmute themselves. I think it gives us a better way of learning.
That's all for this back to school update. As you can see, there are many perspectives for what people believe is the best for the students for learning in a global pandemic. As the cases continue to rise in Winthrop, we will continue to cover the future of a remote, hybrid, or fully in-person school year. Stay tuned for more updates and information on hybrid versus remote learning. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Every week, the Student Council does their Student Spotlight to show off some of the seniors.
This week we have John Cataldo telling us a bit more about this week's Senior Spotlight.
When Katie was asked what her favorite WHS memory was, she said, "My favorite WHS memory was the pep rally because all the grades got to get together and play games. She also enjoyed having lunch with her friends." When she was asked what her favorite class was and why, she said, "My favorite class was Spanish junior year and senior year English. I liked these classes because the teachers always helped me out and the classes were fun." When she was asked what she will miss most about Winthrop High School, she said, "What I will miss most about Winthrop High School is the teachers and friends. I have made good connections with some of my teachers, so I will be seeing them every day. Also, I will miss being able to see my friends in classes, at lunch, and in the halls." When she was asked what her plans were for next year, she said, "My plans for next year is to go to college. I'm not sure what school I want to attend or what I want to study, but I will definitely be going to college to continue my studies." When she was asked where does she see herself in 20 years, she said, "In 20 years, I see myself having a good job after going to college, and I will do the best I can to be successful and work hard."
It's been an absolute pleasure being one of Katie's volleyball coaches and her guidance counselor for the past few years. I've had the privilege of getting to know her, seeing her grow into the mature woman that she is today. I'm really excited to see what her future holds after graduation, and we can't wait to get her back on the court this season. She was one of our shining stars this past season, always eager to play, willing to be in any position we put her in on the court, and a joy to be around overall. We can't wait to have her again, and so excited for Katie and what her future holds.
Hi, Katie. I just wanted to say that it has been a pleasure getting to know you over the past 4 years. I can't believe you're a senior. It's unbelievable. But I just really wanted you to know how much of a pleasure it was having you in so many of my classes, and having your smiling face and someone who's always shows up ready to do the absolute best that they can. Your pleasure to have around. I'm going to miss you when you're gone. It's funny that I've had the entire Jevoli family really through my years here. And each one of you are unique, and you're a very special kid, Katie. And I wish you so much luck in whatever you plan on doing in the future. And be sure to keep in touch.
Thank you for the update, John.
Finally, here at Wake Up Winthrop, we would like to take a moment to remember and recognize Amy Gallagher. Mrs. Gallagher was an amazing person and had a massive impact on Winthrop schools and the whole community.
We would like to dedicate this next segment to the friends and family of Miss Amy Gallagher in remembrance of all the wonderful gifts she gave us. Here's Tyler Rockefeller with a fitting tribute.
Amy Gallagher, or as many of you know her as Miss G, was a teacher here at our Winthrop Middle School who suddenly passed away on November 30th. She worked for many years as a classroom aide and did many upstanding acts in our community. Many people were affected so positively by the way she lived and was always helping others, from selling tickets at Winthrop High School football games to connecting with students in the classroom. She always brought the best out of people. There are so many different words and phrases that can be used to describe her. She would treat everyone as if they were her own family because that's the type of person she was. We wanted to reach out to the Winthrop community to share some of the great memories Miss G brought them.
Hi guys, Rocky just emailed me the other day, and he wanted me to talk about my favorite memory with Miss G. Certainly going to miss her. Back in the day when I had a lot of you in a 6th period early world history, I remember a lot of the time Michael Carter would talk about too much sauce or whatever. And let me tell you, Miss G could not get enough of that particular phrase. She and I would just exchange it all the time. And, you know, that was just one of the many things that Miss G and I used to do together. We'd just probably share a lot of silly glances and tell a lot of funny jokes. It's just who we were together, and I'm certainly going to miss her for that.
Hi, I want to talk a little bit about Miss G and the impact that she had on students of Winthrop High School. Regardless of whether you were receiving academic help from her, she was helping another student, or if she was just a teacher aide that day, you felt her presence in the classroom. She knew everyone's names, had jokes with everyone, and any day that you walked in and she was there, you knew it was going to be a good day. The story I wanted to tell was from Mr. Beckfeld's 8th grade history class. We were writing plays, and on the day that we were supposed to present, one of our students in our group was absent, and without thinking, she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna join this group and I'm gonna present for them, or I'm gonna help them present." And it was the funniest thing. She outacted all of us, of course. It was so funny, but really what I remember about it was the fact that she, without thinking, joined our group and helped us out when we really needed someone. And even though it's a small memory, it just shows that the generosity that she had for students and the impact that she had, even all these years later, that I can, still remember this story. We're really gonna miss her.
My favorite memories with Miss G would be doing the yearly Santa breakfast at the church together. For a couple days before Christmas, we'd all come together and make baskets for raffles, decorate the church, and have a lot of funny times, make posters, and it was really fun.
So some of my favorite memories with my aunt, Miss G, would be going down the Cape every year, spending time with the family, birthday party celebrations at her house, because that's the family house in my family. Going to Red Sox games was always fun with her because she always got tickets from her boss that we all got to go to the games with her, and that's gonna really be sad going again without her, because that was kind of our special thing together. Christmas time is one of our favorite times of the year too, because we get to spend more time with the family, give back to each other, and that's what she was all about. So this time of year is pretty sad, especially because she's passed, but those are some of my favorite memories with her.
All right, hi folks. I've been asked to share a couple of memories of Amy G, my good friend, who we lost recently. I have a million good memories, from lunches with Vasily and Christina, the lunches at the Cummings, just fall off the chair laughing, moving Amy Lamina's birds all over the teacher's room, and then waiting until she found out and had a fit. I remember the time that we found out that the Massachusetts state groundhog's name was Miss G. We had a few good laughs with that one. The day that we found out that her dad and Carl Sagan had the same birthday, we thought that was pretty cool. Tyler Bucci, the Buccinator, when Miss G would come in the room and I would say, "Miss G, ladies and gentlemen," and the students would applaud. Tyler Bucci one day yelled out, "We're saved," with a lot of gusto. And we were saved, and it was hysterically funny, and it caught on, and everybody started saying it, and it became a thing, and it kept up right till this year. Every year there were several kids who would yell that out. I learned from Amy how important it is to be kind to people, to help other people. She was all over the middle school. Food drives, clothing drives, student council, quiz bowl, spelling bee. In addition to all of her work as an ESP, she would go the distance to help any kid get an assignment done and feel like they were capable of doing the work. She worked incredibly hard, and she was incredibly kind to other people. and she was a huge science nerd. She would text me all the time. Farnsey, it's a whole category on Darwin on Jeopardy. Farnsey, Mary T and I just got a valence electron question right. Farnsey, we met someone who has myasthenia gravis, and we started talking to them, and they're like, how do you guys know this? And me and Mary T said, 7th grade science. And it just so happens that a couple days ago I was watching a Chef's Table show about Sean Brock, a James Beard Award winning chef in the Southeast, and he has myasthenia gravis. And the whole time I'm watching it, I kept thinking Amy G would love this, should love this. We would have long conversations about that guy and the plight that he dealt with, and the images of his eyes, and how he lost the ability to swallow, and how nervous he was, and the treatments that he got. She loved that stuff. She loved to learn. She loved to help people. And I think if you're talking about education and working with children, you know, what else could you ask for? So I know we'll all miss her. I'm sure I went over my 1 minute. It's hard to sum up your feelings for Amy in 1 minute. But those, when I think of Amy Gallagher, those are the thoughts that come to mind. Thank you.
I'd also like to take this time to say thank you for everyone that reached out to me and my family with their condolences and giving some memories, saying how she was such a nice person and everything. She's going to be missed, and I appreciate everyone's kindness, and I hope that everyone can learn something from Miss G, that she always gave back, and it didn't matter who you were. She just saw another person, and if they need help, no questions asked, she'd be there. So thank you, everyone.
Here on Wake Up Winthrop, we'd like to send our prayers out to the Gallagher family during these difficult times. Thank you, Amy, for everything you have done for this community, and fly high. Back to you in the studio.
Jingle bells,
Jingle all the way.
oh what fun it is to ride in one horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle all.
Thank you, Tyler. Mrs. Gallagher will live on through all the wonderful memories that she has created for so many people.
That's all we have for today. Thanks for tuning in.
Roll
Vikes.
Vikes.